It's that time of year again. Spring bear season is officially here. These adrenaline-filled hunts mark the first real backcountry test of the year, a chance to shake off the winter gloom, chase the spring green up, and reconnect with the mountains that we love. Normally, I would be loading up my llamas, getting the list of bears that are off limits this year from Ryan Lampers, reviewing hunt plans, checking snow lines, and then grassing the green wave that is beginning to appear on the southern-facing slopes. But not this season. I'm here reminiscing with all my bear rugs and my skulls. I tore a quad on a recent wolf hunt in Canada, and the recovery has been a bit brutal. It's forced me to slow down, but it's also given me space to finish some big projects that have been sitting on the shelf for far too long. The biggest one, the Western bear hunting course, something Ryan and I have already poured years of work into. In today's Thrive episode, I'm going to walk you through what's inside the new Phase 1 course, why it matters, and how it might just change the way you chase spring bears. We're also going to break down some mission-critical gear setups that can dramatically shift the odds in your favor this spring. If you can't put eyes on bears, you can't kill bears. Let's get to it. We're just kicking off spring bear seasons across most of the high snowpack states like Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming. It's probably still a touch early for most areas of Wyoming, but bears are already starting to move around in Idaho and Montana. I've seen a few hunters tagging some really solid bears. Unfortunately, I'll be missing bear season this year. I tore my quad on a Canadian wolf hunt, and let's just say I kinda underestimated the road to recovery. I'm about 3 weeks post-surgery, and I'm still stuck in a straight brace for another 4 to 5 weeks before I can even begin to bend my leg. Full recovery is somewhere between 4 to 6 months. I'm pushing hard to hit that 4-month mark so that I can be ready for the archery elk season. It's going to take some work, but I'm all in. I really want to thank everyone who reached out to me with the kind words. It really means a lot. The silver lining is, I guess, now I have time to work on and finish some of these big projects that have been waiting to be completed. The first one, Phase 1 of the Western bear hunting course, Unlocking Spring Bear Success, was just released. Ryan and I finally put the finishing touches on this one, and it's now live at treelineacademy.net. The course is 23 modules and nearly 6 hours long. We designed it to be the definitive resource for spring bear hunting in the West. Whether you're new or experienced, this course is going to level up your spring bear approach. Western black bear hunting opportunities are plentiful, and the tags are relatively easy to obtain. However, educational resources for hunting and finding bears has been very limited until now. Black bears are more abundant today than at any time during the last century. Bears are thriving, and as bear hunters, we are living during the best of times. First off, I want to thank you for joining us. We also want to remind you that to purchase of this webinar will qualify you for a big discount on the full Western bear hunting course when it's released. Yes, the Western bear hunting course is coming. We know you've reminded us. It's been 3 years in the making. We should have never opened our mouths when we did. But I can say Ryan and I are both working pretty hard on this now, and we're committed to finishing this massive project this year. It's been a real beast, but we're confident it will be the most comprehensive and innovative start to finish resource for Western bear hunting that's ever been created. It pulls content from nearly 20 of the course modules to give you some valuable and actionable information that you can use this spring bear season. Okay, so with all that said, I've got Ryan Lampers, which really needs no introduction. But for those 1 or 2 of you that are taking this webinar that don't know who he is, he's going to give you a little rundown of himself and his bear hunting pursuits and kind of how he's pursued things a little bit over the course of the many years that he's been chasing bears. So Ryan, it's good to sit down again. We did one last year. Mm-hmm. Now, I know this one, you're going to be a little out of your comfort zone. This is a lot more structure than you're used to.
This isn't podcast style. We got a lot of notes and a lot of information in front of us that we need to get to. So thanks, Mark. I think, when it comes to bear hunting, I started off, it just wasn't like the biggest thing in my world. It was deer and elk and all that. But coming from Washington, grew up hunting fall bears. We didn't have great opportunities at spring bears. So it was mostly fall bears. And then, probably, late 20s, I started traveling, doing some hunts out of state, heading over to Idaho and those mountain states where spring bear hunting is just kind of an annual thing. So my experience is, I've got a couple decades under my belt chasing spring bears, a little bit of fall bears, but spring bear hunts especially have become, I've said this a few times, my number 2. Like they've overtaken elk as far as a favorite, which really irritates Jason Phelps. Love it. Absolutely love it. I think we can all agree the places places it takes you, the country it takes you. The time of year, I think, is exciting because it's not your traditional fall hunt. It's springtime. Snow's coming off the ground, and we're in the mountains and some of the most challenging of terrains hunting bears. So
it's funny you said that it's your number two, because Brian and I were just coming back from this wolf hunt and we got to talking about it, and we were like, if you had to only hunt one animal the rest of your life, what would it be? And I'm like, I don't know. I said, but I can tell you one thing, giving up spring bears would be hard.
Tough.
And this year I've got a leg injury that I'm nursing. So I am going to be out for spring bear season this year, which really bugs me. Myself, I don't need a lot of introduction. I'm 10 years bear hunting. I killed bears before that, but it always was on accident. I'd be elk hunting and a bear would come by, and whatever stand I was at, I'd always have a bear tag if I could. And I'd killed several bears like that. But as far as targeting bears and actually hunting them during a season in the spring really didn't happen until I moved to Montana about 9 years ago. And then a few years after having some success on my own, I realized I really did like this pursuit. Really, when I met you long before we hunted together, but that first bear hunt we went on, I got a chance to see bear hunting done on a really big scale. And that's really what solidified it for me. And ever since then, I've just been going at it.
On the upside, you're going to be healed up for fall bear season. So maybe this will be the year chase one of them berry bears in the fall. They're a lot fatter. You get a lot more fat off.
Oh man, the fall is always like so many other things. There is a lot of opportunities in August.
We do have a lot of fall bear information when this course comes out. We've done a lot of writing on that. And so that is going to be in here. We're not going to talk a lot about fall bears today because we got spring bear right on our doorstep.
So I want to tell you guys a little bit about the format. The course has about between 50 and 60 modules, it looks like. We're going to bring about 20 of those to you during this webinar. I hope you're going to get a lot out of this. We're going to try to go as methodical as we can from section to section. We want to give you a lot of actionable and usable information that you can take and use this spring. So let's get started. Far too often, bear hunters waste valuable time and effort looking for bears in areas that simply don't have bears. And worse, they don't have the habitat features that are attractive to and support bears. Whether you're an experienced bear hunter or just starting out, the Unlocking Spring Bear Success course will give you the tools and resources to become a more efficient, effective, and successful bear hunter. Treeline Academy is completely focused on the continual search for knowledge that will help you refine and elevate your Western big game hunting skill set. This new course is just another extension of that mission. I continue to get spring bear snow level questions. This is a deal, and if you get it wrong, it can ruin or at best case, seriously alter the trajectory of your hunt. Is there any way I can make a reasonable prediction where the snow levels will be during the time of year that I want to hunt in a specific hunt area? The answer is yes, but you must keep in mind that some of these tools are scans and the accuracy can fluctuate from day to day. If you review an average of 3 to 5 years of data, you can make some very accurate snow line and snow level predictions. You will then want to follow up with semi-live aerial imagery research to ultimately confirm snow lines before you embark on your hunts. The Western Bear Hunting course will document the entire 5-tool snow research and verification process. In today's Thrive episode, we are going to review the very first tool we use when it comes to isolating snow lines and depth for prime spring bear hunting spots. When it comes to evaluating spring bear hunting spots, I always start with my Treeline Google Earth Pro Map Toolkit. I know by now I sound like a broken record, but these toolkits are my 100% go-to for Western hunt planning. The toolkit has a spring bear data set I designed specifically for spring bear hunting in the high snowpack states like Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming. Successfully hunting bears in these states requires a solid understanding of both historic and current snow levels. As the snowpack recedes, mature bears follow the snow line as it moves to higher elevations, staying just below the snow line where the new vegetation growth is just emerging. This new growth green zone is a magnet for spring bears. Our spring bear success hinges on positioning ourselves at the right elevation band or zone and the right slope orientation in relation to this migrating snow line. The spring snow cover, snow depth, and melting progress can be challenging to track. This is a dynamic process that changes rapidly and is not always consistent from year to year. Once you download and install the latest version of the map toolkit, you will have access to the Dynamic Spring Research Dataset. This dataset includes a comprehensive set of historical and current snow analysis layers. The data is organized by strategic season dates and years and includes individual layers for snow cover, snow depth, and snow melt. These layers can all be toggled on and off independently among those years. The snow cover layer shows the snow footprint for the entire U.S., enabling you to clearly see and evaluate the estimated snow line. This helps you zero in on the snow line in potential hunt areas and specific hunt dates. The snow depth layer goes further and provides you with estimates of snow depth throughout your hunt area. The legend for snow depth is included at the top of the window. Snow depth analysis is a vital tool when comparing historical dates from year to year. The current or latest snow depth layer can be used to verify and confirm snow conditions before you embark on your hunt. The snow melt progress layer is a great resource for identifying the melting stages of the snow line. This can give you an indication of the water runoff and the ground moisture levels. These conditions directly correspond with the green new growth that spring bears are so keyed in on. We like to hunt areas with actively melting snow lines, and this is indicated by the yellow and red zones along the snow edge. The snow melt layer can also give you valuable insights into how calm or treacherous the stream or river crossings might be in your hunt area. Don't underestimate the power of the spring melt and runoff. There are 2 sections in the Unlocking Spring Bear Success course that deal specifically with creek and stream crossing issues. The Spring Bear data layer includes historical snow data for key season dates, covering most of the spring bear seasons, including April 15th, May 1st, May 15th, June 1st, and June 15th. I've also formatted 3 years of data for each of those specific dates, enabling you to quickly average out and map snow lines to make reasonable season predictions. As a bonus, the map toolkit includes another data set that provides direct links to bear harvest statistics for several western states. This data can help you expose units with stable and significant populations of bears. This level of population analysis will contribute to your overall success. I've spent 10 years developing these toolkits for my personal hunt planning pursuits. They are now available to you. The Treeline Google Earth Pro Toolkit includes 10 Western statewide datasets that, when installed into Google Earth Pro, transform the application into the ultimate e-scouting and Western hunt planning tool. All my Thrive Vodcast supporters can use the code THRIVE to save 20% on the Google Earth Map Toolkits. If you want to learn more about the toolkits, visit treelineacademy.net. When it comes to chasing spawn stock spring bears, glassing is the name of the game. Actually, it's almost the only game. Your optic system, your binos, tripod, spotter, sit pad, and clothing layers will often determine your outcome, winner or loser, period. In the Unlocking Spring Bear Success course, we dive into glassing techniques, strategies, and gear. But the hard truth is, your glass is only as good as its stability. Clarity and glass quality are important, but stability is everything. That's why I exclusively run the 6 Hour Zulu binoculars. Did you hear that, Sig? I could use the latest pair. I know what you're thinking. The glass is not as good as my Swirl or Vortex or whatever. Maybe it's not, but stability matters more, much more. I'll give up a little glass quality any day if it means turning up more bears. What you sacrifice in early, late, light performance, you more than make up for with stabilization benefits. The incredible stability of the Zulus allow me to keep my Swirl spotter on my Tricer tripod at all times. This allows me to use both simultaneously on the hunt. There's really no negotiation here. Our posse has used and abused just about every tripod out there. Tricer makes the best tripod system, period. End of story. I've run both the BC and the AD version models for over a year now, and I'm never going back. The BC model, it's shorter with a max height of 40 inches, but it packs inside my initial ascent backpack side pocket. If you're glassing sitting down most of the time, this is your must-have tripod. It's light, it's compact, and it's efficient. The AD model. This one is taller and extends up to 64 inches, making it ideal for standing and glassing. I used this tripod almost exclusively in Alaska last year, where the rolling terrain made the standing views better. It's 6 inches longer, but it only weighs 6 ounces more. Most of the time on most hunts, I'm running the BC, the shorter version, because we are primarily sitting to glass. I also like the fact that it fully fits in my pack. This is especially beneficial when I want to keep my spotting scope attached to my tripod and strap it on my pack to move glassing spots. This makes things very easy. The Tricer LP head. This is an ultra light head weighing only 4.5 ounces. It has smooth panning. It's surprisingly stable for how little it weighs. If you're counting ounces, this is a top tier option, but you're not giving up any performance. It's the lightest pan head on the market today, and it's incredibly smooth. The Tricer BP head. This is my go-to head more often than not. It weighs 12.3 ounces, but I think it's worth every ounce. The fluid head has these large knobs on the side, making it easy to adjust the tension, even with or without gloves. This thing can handle even the biggest of spotters. If you want the Cadillac of tripod heads, this is it. I'm a llama guy, but if I really needed to shave weight on a hunt, I will swap out for the LP head. But honestly, the glassing performance difference is pretty minor. You can use my code TREELINE and the link below to get a discount when you're ready to up your glassing game. Missing a hunting season is never easy, especially spring bears. Are you kidding me? Yes, I admit it stings, but I'll be back in the mountains soon. In the meantime, I'm doubling down on helping you get your Western hunts dialed in. Everything that we've covered in today's episode comes back to one core treeline principle: stacking the odds in your favor before your boots ever hit the ground. Be open to new tools. Be willing to rethink old habits. Consistent bear hunting success doesn't happen by accident. It happens through intentional, informed planning. In the middle of every difficulty lies opportunity. I'll see you next time.